Welcome to the world behind midnight. Tonight's file reveals a Navy SEAL mission into Prague's catacombs, where the line between myth and nightmare blurs. Subterranean darkness, ancient warnings carved in stone, and eyes that glow gold. Tonight, the CALs will learn that some hunts are designed to fail. The air in the Prague catacombs is stale, heavy with centuries of stone and shadow. CPO Marcus Kellerman leads the team through narrow tunnels, each step echoing faintly against damp walls. Only their tactical lights pierce the darkness, flickering intermittently. Morozov's voice translates faint, archaic warnings carved into limestone, warning of guardians long forgotten. Doc checks pulse points. Tex adjusts his pack. Ghost scopes ahead, scanning the darkness for heat, motion, anomaly. Something waits beyond their range, unseen yet certain. Every man is aware that this is no standard clearance operation. Something in the shadows watches, measuring, calculating. A faint vibration runs through the floor, subtle yet precise. Ghost halts, raising a gloved hand. Kellerman signals silence. The team freezes. Through the darkness, a growl resonates, low, calculated, almost conversational in tone. Not animal, not human, but intelligent. Tex tenses, fingers brushing the heavy stock of his breaching weapon. Morozov whispers in Russian, "Werewolf." But the word barely escapes, as if fear itself suppresses it. Doc's eyes scan the walls, ears straining. Something shifts ahead, movement in the shadows, too quick to track, too deliberate to ignore. Their mission has begun, but already, the rules have changed. Kellerman steps forward, unwavering. Formation Delta, eyes wide. Silence, he commands. Ghost sweeps left, thermal overlay revealing faint anomalies, patches of heat that move like whispers. Tex mutters, half to himself, half to Doc. Never seen anything like this. Not even in Shatili. Doc kneels, examining claw marks on the stone, noting depth and precision. Morozov translates. These are territorial, centuries old. A metallic click echoes behind them, the sound of movement faster than footsteps. Something approaches from the rear, testing their flanks. Kellerman spins, firearm raised, but the corridor is empty. The tension is suffocating. Suddenly, the shadows convulse. Werewolf's pack emerges from multiple angles, silhouettes massive, glinting amber eyes scanning. Ghost identifies heat patterns, 6 distinct predators, coordinated, circling. They move quadruped first, then shift upright, covering more distance per stride. Doc catches sight of keratin filaments, bristling, amplifying size. Tex fires a suppressive round. It sparks off stone, producing no impact. The creatures adapt instantly, circling, probing fear, watching reactions. Kellerman barks commands, precise, measured. Every SEAL knows the drill: breach, suppress, flank. But these predators anticipate, read micro-expressions, exploit hesitation. Something about this is not just hunting. It's psychological warfare. Morozov translates, the carvings aloud. They mark passage, record sacrifice, remember blood. The words echo unnaturally. Ghost whispers, these tunnels, they're alive, in ways we didn't calculate. Tex feels hair on the back of his neck rise, though nothing brushes him. Doc notes unusual patterns of claw strikes, symmetry impossible for normal canines. Kellerman adjusts strategy, divide and clear sectors. As they move, each corridor seems to twist, turn, and elongate, subtly disorienting. Vibration underfoot increases in tempo. Every instinct screams, but discipline holds. The first half hour in the catacombs has already warped their perception. Trust becomes the only weapon left. Ghost signals left. A narrow tunnel previously mapped shows anomalous heat patterns. 2 predators lie in wait, perfectly camouflaged against the limestone. Tex moves forward to flank. Kellerman restrains him with a firm hand. A growl resonates directly above, vibrating through the ceiling. Dust trickles down as shadows stretch unnaturally. Morozov translates another inscription, Only the lost shall return. A sudden screech, echoing inhuman, deafening yet precise. Lights flicker. One predator darts from shadow to shadow. Doc yanks Tex back just in time as clawed limbs swipe the corridor. The team freezes. The predator has vanished. Only silence remains, but silence now carries intent. Kellerman's eyes, steady, betray the faintest flicker of doubt. Ghost's lens tracks every shadow, his breathing measured, even in adrenaline. Morozov murmurs, quietly calculating language and lore against observed behavior. Doc checks vital signs of the team, noticing Tex's pulse spikes, excitement, and fear blending. Each man faces the unspoken truth. This is not a mission they can finish with brute force. Werewolf's pack adapts too quickly, anticipates tactical measures. Every instinct honed over years seems insufficient. Yet, leaving the catacombs is not an option. Extraction depends on moving forward. Survival hinges on perception, not firepower. The tunnel narrows, forcing single-file movement. Sounds of dripping water echo like gunfire. Heat anomalies shift rapidly, confusing the thermal overlay. Suddenly, the faint outline of a creature's shadow is reflected on the wall, only visible for an instant. Ghost locks on, but it vanishes before confirmation. A low-frequency growl reverberates, shaking dust from the ceiling. Doc grips Tex's arm, sensing something unseen. Morozov whispers fragments of old warnings, each word layering dread. Kellerman signals to halt. For the first time, the team realizes the catacombs themselves are the predator, and the pack merely the instruments of its will. A sudden, coordinated roar echoes through multiple corridors. 6 figures, larger, faster, more intelligent than imagined, converge on their position. Flashlights catch glinting keratin filaments, eyes flashing gold, mouths opening in synchronized threat. Tex swears under breath. Doc grips his medical kit like a weapon. Ghost calculates trajectories, but nothing matches Werewolf's unpredictability. Kellerman raises hand, signaling retreat to secondary choke point, but the tunnels have shifted. Exit routes have vanished. Something ancient has rewritten the map. One growl pierces the stone. A warning, a promise, and a countdown. The first step into the catacombs is now the first step into a living nightmare. The pack strikes with brutal precision. Shadows dart across the tunnel walls, heat anomalies overlapping in confusing patterns. Ghost lays prone, laser-guided rifle tracking 6 fast-moving targets. Tex fires suppressive rounds, each ricochet echoing off stone. Doc crouches behind a support beam, medical kit repurposed as improvised shield. Morozov shouts coordinates, but the creatures anticipate every movement. Kellerman issues terse commands: flanks, advance, cover. Yet every corridor bends reality, shortening distance one moment, elongating the next. The SEALs realize Werewolves doesn't just hunt bodies, it hunts perception. Each man fights both predator and labyrinth simultaneously. Werewolf splits into quadrupedal gallops, moving faster than human reaction allows. Golden eyes track every micro-expression, each weapon movement recorded and exploited. Low growls ripple through the catacombs, vibrating in sync with floor resonance, disorienting balance and focus. One predator leaps, intercepting Tex's flank. The team barely counters with coordinated suppressive fire. Doc notes claw marks precisely calculated to pin rather than kill. Psychological intimidation. Morozov translates ancient carvings, revealing patterns of ritual hunting. Predators reading fear, rewarding hesitation. Kellerman pauses, realizing conventional tactics fail against intelligence evolved for centuries, a predator that adapts faster than human comprehension. Kellerman signals a split maneuver. Ghost and Morozov take the upper corridor. Tex and Doc flank low. Shadows move fluidly, always closing gaps. A deafening screech erupts behind Kellerman. The remaining pack surges, probing the leader. Doc braces Tex's arm as the creature swipes. Sparks fly off armor, teeth missing their mark by centimeters. Ghost fires 3 precise shots, staggering one predator, yet it retreats only to regroup. Morozov interprets carvings, eyes wide. They remember your choices. A creeping dread settles. This isn't just survival, Litas, a test of cognition under terror, a calculated psychological assault meant to break cohesion. The corridor narrows suddenly. Werewolf's pack orchestrates a bottleneck. Flashlights catch reflective keratin, expanding visual mass 30% under threat, amplifying intimidation. Ghost whispers coordinates. Kellerman nods. Tex charges, forcing a partial breakthrough. Doc treats a minor laceration in motion, barely noticing blood streaking stone. The team reaches a junction and stops. Two predators lie hidden above, perfectly camouflaged. A low-frequency growl pulses through the ceiling. Dust trickles from overhead. One misstep, one misfire, and the corridor becomes a cage. Kellerman's signals freeze, but the predators have already calculated every hesitation. Tex's optimism falters. He mutters under breath, disbelief merging with fear. Doc's focus sharpens, instinct overriding apprehension, hands twitching toward improvised defensive positions. Ghost recalibrates scope, eyes darting between moving heat patterns and optical illusions. Morozov translates another warning. Only the bloodied survive. Kellerman pauses, the first hint of doubt breaking his controlled exterior. Each man feels an unseen hand, probing limits, mental, emotional, physiological. Werewolf's design isn't brute force, but mental attrition, disorientation, dread, manipulation of instinct. Every tunnel, every echo, every reflected light becomes a psychological weapon, turning skill and experience into fragile defenses against an adaptive predator. The team attempts a rapid extraction to mapped choke point, but the tunnels have shifted. Previously memorized corridors now loop impossibly. Thermal readings are chaotic. Ghost-tracked heat anomalies vanish mid-step. Tex shouts, "This isn't the same layout." Doc senses structural instability, falling stones, shifting dust. Suddenly, one predator leaps from above, slamming into Tex, knocking him into the wall. Kellerman fires. Ghost takes precise shots, yet the creature rolls, barely hindered. Morozov calls out unseen etchings, revealing the catacombs themselves encode the predator's memory of every step. They're not lost. They're in a living maze, designed to break both body and mind. Doc observes Tex pinned, fighting not just the predator, but gravity, labyrinth, and instinct. Kellerman signals for cover. Ghost suppresses flank. Morozov deciphers the carvings under fire. One shall remain. The path will demand it. A realization strikes. This may be the mission's cost, preordained by predator and environment alike. Tex's grin falters, fear tangible. Doc's grip tightens, knowing he cannot save all. Kellerman, the cold strategist, acknowledges the unavoidable calculus. One man must remain to guarantee the other's extraction. Every seal feels the weight. Survival now demands choice, and the ultimate sacrifice is approaching. Werewolf's pack shifts to full quadrupedal sprint. Speeds exceed human reaction. Shadows leap across multiple axes, surrounding the remaining seals. Ghost engages targets, firing controlled rounds, each predator anticipating and avoiding. Doc drags Tex toward an alternate choke point, only to find the exit blocked by collapsing stone. Kellerman signals retreat down a side corridor, but one creature has already anticipated it, intercepting. Morozov translates in panicked whispers. The first to fall becomes the key. The team realizes the survival of the unit depends on conscious, immediate sacrifice. No hesitation. Tex grabs Doc's arm, eyes locking. Go. Take them out. Doc shakes, heart hammering, but nods. Kellerman kneels, issuing final instructions. Move. I'll hold them. Ghost recalibrates, understanding. Morozov's voice trembles. The corridor echoes with growls, claw strikes, dust, and adrenaline. Kellerman steps forward into the pack's path, drawing attention, allowing Ghost, Doc, Morozov, and Tex to advance. One predator locks on Kellerman's movement, the rest following his lead. The catacombs vibrate with kinetic chaos. The seals flee, while their leader becomes the pivot of survival, enacting the ultimate sacrifice that ensures the remainder of the team survives. The remaining 4 reach a junction, tunnels stretching into obscurity, exhausted, trembling, yet alive. Behind them, the pack's roars echo through the labyrinth. Dust settles, but the final image of Kellerman disappearing into shadows, confronting the pack alone, haunts them. Morozov mutters translations. Only the chosen survive. Only the remembered return. Ghost scans the dark corridor, eyes glinting gold. The predator's presence remains, unresolved, unseen but felt. Their extraction point is near, but the catacombs have imprinted themselves on memory. Every man knows this isn't over. Not yet. And one question lingers. Did anyone truly survive the encounter unchanged? Kellerman halts at a junction deep within the catacombs. Shadows stretch unnaturally. Every reflective surface reveals glimpses of movement. The pack senses a solitary target, coordinating with uncanny intelligence. He recalibrates weapons, checks ammo, but knows this isn't a battle of firepower. It's a contest of resolve. Dust trickles from the ceiling as golden eyes pierce darkness. Kellerman breathes evenly, muscles tense, every calculation precise. Werewolf moves like liquid shadow, anticipating tactical maneuvers. Each step Kellerman takes is a gamble. The predator studies fear, hesitates only to exploit it. A predator lunges from overhead, claws scraping stone. Kellerman fires, striking, but not stopping it. Another arcs around, jaw snapping near his shoulder. He ducks, rolls, fires again. The creatures are relentless, intelligent, adaptive. Each shot alters their behavior, yet they remain synchronized, circling like a living machine. Kellerman's training meets its limit. Instincts sharpen, every movement choreographed. The tunnel's geometry is deceptive. Turns shorten, widen, collapse unpredictably. One predator retreats briefly, then re-engages from a blind angle. Kellerman's mind races, calculating odds, but the labyrinth itself seems complicit with the pack. Survival is now physics, perception, and courage intertwined. Elsewhere, Ghost, Doc, Morozov, and Tex reach a stable junction, exhausted, gasping, yet alive. They glance back. Kellerman's figure moves alone against shadows, drawing the pack's attention. Morozov whispers translations. Only the bloodied remain as memory. Ghost swallows, realizing the gravity. Doc's fingers tighten over medkit. Tex clenches weapon. The team understands. Survival is bought by their leader's sacrifice. Their breaths staggered, hearts hammering, each step toward extraction weighed by grief. The predator's coordination ensures Kellerman remains a focal point, a living pivot for their escape. Sacrifice is tactical, inevitable, and absolute. Kellerman maneuvers into a collapsed archway, limiting flanking options. Werewolf lunges in synchrony, claws and teeth aimed with precision. He fires controlled bursts, rolls, positions strategically, each movement designed to maximize distraction. One predator locks jaws near his leg. Kellerman counters with precise melee, driving it back. Yet numbers overwhelm. Dust rises. Echoing growls reverberate. Stone chips scatter. He throws a tactical charge, staggering the pack temporarily. Each pulse of combat tests the edge of fear and endurance. Kellerman knows the extraction team advances. Time is both weapon and enemy. The pack charges again. Kellerman meets them head-on, directing aggression away from the exit. Behind him, Ghost, Doc, Morozov, and Tex navigate shifting corridors, finally breaching mapped exits. The catacombs seem to pulse, alive with predator anticipation, but the team presses onward. Kellerman's figure disappears into shadows, confronting the pack alone. The last exchange of gunfire echoes, a brutal, calculated symphony. The surviving team hears growls fading, then silence. Grief, shock, and gratitude collide. One man has ensured their survival. One legend becomes the myth whispered in Prague's subterranean depths. Above ground, the air feels electric. The surviving SEALs emerge, exhausted, soaked in sweat and grime. Morozov whispers ancient phrases, as if reading the catacombs' memory. Ghost surveys the area, scope lowered, but eyes alert. Doc checks vital signs, hands shaking despite relief. Tex leans against stone, silent. Kellerman's absence is a wound, tactical loss, and emotional weight. Each team member carries both gratitude and trauma. Behind them, the catacombs remain unchanged, yet altered by the encounter. Werewolf's presence lingers. The hunt has ended for now, but memory of the predator and of the ultimate sacrifice will follow them forever. Ghost scans the horizon, senses unnerved, voice low. It's not over. Morozov nods, interpreting carvings. They remember. Every survivor, every step. Tex clenches fist, vowing return. Doc studies injuries, realizes physiological responses exceeded all training. The pack's intelligence exceeds comprehension. Werewolf is not just a predator, but a guardian of ancient secrets. The catacombs are alive, adaptive, and strategic. Future missions are inevitable. Survivors now carry both knowledge and the burden of loss. Every step outside Prague is marked by memory, fear, and a lingering question. Will they ever face Werewolf again? Subscribe to The World Behind Midnight to uncover the next operation before it disappears. Because some secrets are best left behind midnight. Tonight, you witnessed a SEAL team confront werewolves in Prague's catacombs and pay the ultimate price. Future missions will reveal surviving members, evolving threats, and what lies in the shadows, unseen yet waiting.